Lisa had been living in apartment 4B for almost 2 years, and she loved everything about her little space. The morning sun came through her kitchen window just right, and she had finally gotten her tiny balcony garden exactly how she wanted it. The only problem had been her neighbor in 4C. For months, she had to deal with loud music that went on until 3 in the morning, friends coming and going at all hours, and the smell of cigarettes drifting into her apartment. Lisa had tried talking to the guy a few times, but he just shrugged and said he was living his life. She had even called the building manager twice, but nothing really changed. So when she saw the moving truck outside one Tuesday morning, Lisa felt genuinely happy. Maybe, just maybe, she would finally get a quiet neighbor who understood that apartment walls were thin, and people needed sleep. The first time Lisa saw her new neighbor was that same afternoon. She was coming back from the grocery store, both hands full of heavy bags, trying to balance everything while searching for her keys. That's when she heard a cheerful voice behind her. "Oh my goodness, let me help you with those." Lisa turned around to see a woman about her age with a bright smile and eager eyes. Before Lisa could even respond, the woman had already taken two bags from her hands. "I'm Maya, your new neighbor. I just moved into 4C today. What perfect timing. I get to meet you and help you out at the same time." Lisa felt a wave of relief. Finally, a normal, friendly person. "Thank you so much. I'm Lisa. Welcome to the building." Maya walked with her to Lisa's door, chatting about how excited she was to live here and how much she loved the neighborhood. Already, she seemed genuinely nice, the kind of person who would make a great neighbor. Lisa found herself smiling for the first time in months. When thinking about the person living next door, "Your apartment must have the same layout as mine," Maya said, peering over Lisa's shoulder as she unlocked her door. "Oh wow, you've decorated it so beautifully. I love what you've done with the entrance." Lisa felt a tiny flutter of something she couldn't quite name, but she pushed it aside. Maya was just being friendly and curious about her new home. "Thanks. It took me forever to find that mirror, but I think it makes the space look bigger." "It absolutely does. You have such good taste. I hope you don't mind me saying, but I was watching from my window earlier, and I saw you have the most adorable cat. Is that your little friend on the fire escape?" Lisa looked toward her balcony where Whiskers was indeed sunbathing in his favorite spot. "Yes, that's Whiskers. He loves that sunny corner. Oh, I'm such an animal lover. Do you think he would mind if I said hello to him sometime? I had a cat growing up, and I miss having a furry friend around." Something about the way Maya said it made Lisa pause. There was an intensity in her voice that seemed a bit much for talking about a cat she had only seen from across the courtyard. But then again, Lisa reasoned, some people were just really enthusiastic about animals. "Sure. Maybe sometime," Lisa said, hoping to end the conversation politely. She was tired from work and just wanted to put her groceries away and relax. But Maya didn't seem to pick up on the hint. "I notice you get home around this time every day." "I work from home, so I'm usually here. It's so nice to finally have someone normal living next door. The previous guy was, well, let's just say he wasn't very considerate." Lisa felt that flutter again. How did Maya know what time she usually got home? She had only moved in that morning. But then Lisa remembered that Maya had mentioned watching from her window, and their building did face the main street where Lisa walked every day. It made sense that she would notice patterns. "Yeah, he was pretty loud," Lisa agreed. "I'm looking forward to actually getting some sleep now." Maya laughed, but her eyes stayed focused on Lisa's face with an intensity that made Lisa slightly uncomfortable. "Oh, I'm very quiet. I believe in being respectful of others. In fact, I think neighbors should look out for each other, you know, like a little family." The word family struck Lisa as odd. They had just met 20 minutes ago, but Maya seemed so sincere, and Lisa had been dealing with difficult neighbors for so long that maybe she was just overthinking things. Over the next few days, Lisa started noticing Maya around the building more often than seemed normal. On Wednesday morning, Maya appeared in the hallway just as Lisa was leaving for work. wearing a jogging outfit and carrying a water bottle. "Good morning, Lisa. Off to work. Have a wonderful day," Maya called out cheerfully. On Wednesday evening, Maya was checking her mailbox right when Lisa got home. "How was your day? You look tired. You worked so hard." Thursday morning, Maya was watering a plant outside her door when Lisa left. Thursday evening, Maya was taking out trash right when Lisa returned out by Friday. Lisa was starting to wonder if it was just coincidence, or if Maya was somehow timing these encounters. But every time Maya saw her, she was genuinely warm and friendly. She asked about Lisa's work, remembered details from their previous conversations, and always seemed genuinely interested in how Lisa was doing. "You know," Maya said on Friday evening as they both stood in the hallway with their keys, "I've been thinking it would be so nice to have a friend right next door. I mean, we're practically living together already, being so close." Lisa laughed, but it sounded forced even to her own ears. "Well, we're neighbors for sure. I was thinking," Maya continued, her eyes bright with enthusiasm, "maybe we could have coffee together sometime. I notice you're always carrying a travel mug in the morning, so you must love coffee as much as I do. We could make it a regular thing." Lisa felt trapped. Maya was being perfectly nice, and there was no good reason to say no without seeming rude. "Sure, maybe we could do that sometime." "Wonderful. How about tomorrow morning? I could come over around 8, and we could have coffee before you start your day. I make amazing pancakes too, if you're interested." The suggestion felt too much, too soon, but Lisa found herself nodding. "Okay, sure. 8 sounds fine." As Lisa unlocked her door, she could feel Maya watching her every move. When she finally got inside and closed the door behind her, she leaned against it and took a deep breath. Something felt off, but she couldn't put her finger on exactly what it was. Maya seemed nice enough. She was friendly, considerate, and clearly wanted to be a good neighbor. But there was something about the way she looked at Lisa, the way she seemed to appear at exactly the right moments, and the way she talked about being neighbors like they were already close friends, that made Lisa feel unsettled. Still, Lisa told herself she was probably just being paranoid after months of dealing with a difficult neighbor. Maya was trying to be friendly, and Lisa should give her a chance, after all. What was the worst that could happen? As she put away her groceries and fed Whiskers, Lisa tried to shake off the strange feeling. Tomorrow morning, she would have coffee with Maya, get to know her better, and hopefully build a normal, healthy neighbor relationship. Everything would be fine. But as she settled down for the evening, Lisa couldn't help but notice that Maya's apartment seemed unusually quiet, and she had the odd feeling that Maya was listening to every sound she made through their shared wall. The coffee morning had gone better than Lisa expected, even though something still felt a bit off. Maya had arrived exactly at 8 with homemade muffins and stories about her previous apartment. She was chatty and friendly, asking lots of questions about Lisa's job, her hobbies, and her daily routine. At the time, Lisa thought Maya was just trying to get to know her new neighbor. But over the next 3 weeks, Lisa started noticing things that made her stomach feel tight with worry. It began with the timing. Every single morning when Lisa left for work at 8:15, Maya would appear in the hallway. Sometimes she was getting her mail, sometimes taking out trash, sometimes just standing by her door like she was about to leave. But it was always right at 8:15. At first, Lisa thought it was just coincidence. People have routines, right? But then she noticed Maya knew other things too. When Lisa ordered Chinese food on Tuesday nights, Maya would mention how good Chinese food smelled. When Lisa had her friends over for movie nights on Friday, Maya would text her the next morning asking if she had fun with her guests. Wait, when had they even exchanged phone numbers? Lisa tried to remember, but she couldn't recall giving Maya her number. Yet somehow, Maya had it. The really weird part started when Maya began showing up at other times too. Lisa worked from home on Wednesdays, and she loved starting those days with coffee on her tiny balcony while reading a book. It was her peaceful time, her way of preparing for the day. One Wednesday morning, Lisa was settling into her favorite chair with her mug and a novel when she heard a knock. She opened the door to find Maya holding her own coffee cup and wearing a huge smile. "Good morning." "Sweetie, I ran out of coffee, and I remembered you mentioning how much you love your morning routine. I thought maybe we could share this lovely time together." Lisa stood there, confused. She had never told Maya about her Wednesday morning routine. She had mentioned liking coffee, but when had she talked about reading on the balcony? "I actually preferred to have this time alone," Lisa said, trying to be polite but firm. Maya's face felt like Lisa had just told her the worst news ever. "Alone? But why would you want to be alone when you could have company? I don't understand why people need so much alone time. We're social creatures, honey. We're meant to be together." The way Maya said honey made Lisa's skin crawl. They barely knew each other, but Maya was talking like they were best friends or family members. "I just like having quiet time in the morning," Lisa explained, feeling like she needed to justify something that should have been perfectly normal. Maya looked genuinely confused, like Lisa had just spoken in a foreign language. "But that seems so lonely. I could never understand wanting to be by yourself when you could have a friend right next door. Are you sure you're not just being antisocial?" Lisa felt her cheeks get hot. "I'm not antisocial. I just like having some time to myself." Maya finally left, but not before saying she hoped Lisa would change her mind about shutting people out. Lisa closed the door and leaned against it, her peaceful morning completely ruined. Things got stranger from there. Maya seemed to know everything about Lisa's schedule. She knew when Lisa got food delivered, when she did laundry, when she had appointments. Lisa started wondering if Maya was watching her somehow, but that seemed paranoid. Then Lisa noticed Maya commenting on things she shouldn't have known about. During one hallway conversation, Maya mentioned that Lisa's living room looked so cozy with all those books everywhere. But Maya had never been in Lisa's living room. She had only been in the kitchen during their coffee morning. "How do you know about my books?" Lisa asked, trying to keep her voice casual. Maya blinked quickly, like she had been caught doing something wrong. "Oh, I mean, when I was helping you with groceries that first day, I could see a bit of your living room. You have such good taste in decorating." Lisa tried to remember what Maya could have seen from the doorway, but she was pretty sure the bookshelf wasn't visible from there. Still, maybe she was wrong. Maybe she was overthinking everything. But then Maya started using pet names more often. Sweetie became honey became dear. When Lisa politely asked Maya to just use her name, Maya looked hurt and said, "But I thought we were becoming close." That's what friends do. The worst part was how Maya reacted whenever Lisa tried to create boundaries. When Lisa mentioned that she preferred not to chat in the hallway when she was rushing to work, Maya said, "Oh, you're always so stressed. You need to learn to slow down and enjoy life." When Lisa said she couldn't have coffee every Wednesday because she needed that time for herself, Maya responded with, "I'm worried about you. Dear, it's not healthy to isolate yourself so much. Maybe you have some trust issues you need to work through." Lisa felt like she was going crazy. Was she being unreasonable? Was wanting alone time really that weird? She had never had these problems with friends or neighbors before, but Maya made her feel like wanting basic privacy was somehow wrong or broken. The situation got even more uncomfortable when Maya started showing up at strange times. Lisa would be doing dishes and hear Maya's voice from the balcony next door. "Lisa, are you there? I just wanted to say hi." Lisa would be working at her computer and hear Maya calling her name from the hallway. One evening, Lisa was on the phone with her mom when Maya knocked on the door. Lisa ignored it, but Maya kept knocking. Then she heard Maya's voice through the door. "Lisa, I know you're home. I can hear you talking. Is everything okay?" Lisa felt trapped in her own apartment. She couldn't talk on the phone, couldn't watch TV at normal volume, couldn't do anything without Maya somehow knowing about it and wanting to be involved. The breaking point came when Lisa's friend Jessica visited for the weekend. Jessica had been Lisa's college roommate, and they had maintained a close friendship for years. Lisa was excited to have some normal social interaction with someone who understood boundaries. But on Saturday morning, while Lisa and Jessica were having breakfast and catching up, Maya knocked on the door. Lisa opened it to find Maya holding a plate of cookies and wearing that same bright smile. "Good morning. I heard voices and thought you might have company. I wanted to introduce myself and share these cookies I made." Before Lisa could say anything, Maya had walked into the apartment and was shaking Jessica's hand. "I'm Maya, Lisa's neighbor and dear friend. She's told me so much about you." Lisa hadn't told Maya anything about Jessica's visit. Jessica looked confused and glanced at Lisa with raised eyebrows. Maya sat down at the kitchen table like she had been invited and started asking Jessica personal questions about her job, her relationship status, and how long she had known Lisa. Jessica answered politely, but kept looking at Lisa like she was wondering what was going on. After Maya finally left an hour later, Jessica immediately turned to Lisa. "Who was that? And how did she know I was here?" Lisa realized she didn't have a good answer. Maya had somehow known Jessica was visiting, even though Lisa hadn't told her. The thin apartment walls might explain overhearing voices, but how had Maya known it? Was a friend visiting rather than just Lisa watching TV or talking on the phone? "I honestly don't know," Lisa admitted. "She's been acting really strange since she moved in." Jessica frowned. "Lisa, that woman gives me the creeps. The way she was staring at you, and all those personal questions she asked me, and she kept calling you dear like you've been friends for years. How long has she lived here?" 3 weeks. Lisa said quietly. 3 weeks. Jessica looked shocked. "Lisa, normal people don't act like that after 3 weeks. Something is seriously wrong with her." For the first time, Lisa felt relieved that someone else had noticed Maya's strange behavior. She wasn't imagining things or being oversensitive. Maya really was crossing boundaries that normal people respected. But knowing that Maya's behavior was inappropriate didn't make it any easier to deal with. If anything, it made Lisa feel more trapped. Because now she knew this wasn't just a misunderstanding that would work itself out over time. Maya genuinely didn't seem to understand that people needed space and privacy, and that made Lisa wonder what Maya might do next. After Jessica's visit, Lisa hoped Maya might back off a little. Maybe having an outsider witness her behavior would make Maya realize she was being too intense. But instead of getting better, things got much worse. It started when Lisa caught a cold the following week. She had been feeling run down for a few days, and by Wednesday morning, she woke up with a sore throat, stuffy nose, and that achy feeling that meant she was definitely getting sick. She called into work and planned to spend the day resting, drinking tea, and maybe watching some movies. Around 10 in the morning, Lisa heard a knock at her door. She ignored it, hoping whoever it was would go away. She felt terrible and just wanted to sleep. But the knocking continued, getting more persistent. "Lisa, Lisa, are you okay? I know you're home." Maya's voice came through the door. Lisa groaned and got out of bed, wrapping her robe around herself. She opened the door just enough to peek out. "Hi, Maya. I'm not feeling well today, so I can't really chat." But Maya's face immediately filled with what looked like genuine concern. "Oh no, you poor thing. You look awful. Have you eaten anything? Are you drinking enough fluids? You shouldn't be alone when you're sick." Before Lisa could respond, Maya was pushing past her into the apartment. "I'm going to take care of you. That's what good neighbors do." "Maya, really? I just need to rest." Lisa protested, but Maya was already in her kitchen, opening cabinets. "Where do you keep your soup? You need chicken soup when you're sick." "Oh, you don't have any. That's okay. I'll run to the store right now and get everything you need." Lisa felt too tired and sick to argue. Maybe Maya was just trying to be helpful. "That's really not necessary." "Nonsense. I'll be right back. You go lie down, and I'll take care of everything." Maya left, and Lisa crawled back into bed, hoping that would be the end of it. But an hour later, Maya was back with several bags of groceries and a key in her hand. "How did you get in?" Lisa asked weakly from her bed. "Oh, I explained to the building manager that you were very sick and needed someone to check on you." He gave me his spare key so I could help take care of you. Wasn't that thoughtful of him? Lisa felt a chill that had nothing to do with her cold. Maya had somehow convinced the building manager to give her access to Lisa's apartment. That didn't seem right at all. Maya spent the entire day in Lisa's apartment. She made soup, organized Lisa's medicine cabinet, did Lisa's dishes, and even rearranged some things in the kitchen to make them more convenient. Every time Lisa tried to tell her she didn't need help, Maya would say something like, "Don't be silly, you're too sick to know what you need." The worst part was how Maya kept checking on Lisa. Every 30 minutes, she would come into the bedroom to feel Lisa's forehead, ask how she was feeling, and insist that Lisa drink more water or eat more soup. Lisa felt like she was being watched constantly, even in her own bedroom. When Lisa finally asked Maya to leave so she could rest, Maya looked hurt. "But what if you need something during the night? What if your fever gets worse? I should stay here tonight to make sure you're okay." "Maya, I'll be fine. I just have a cold." "You don't understand how dangerous it can be to be alone when you're sick," Maya said seriously. "What if something happens and no one is here to help you? I would never forgive myself." It took Lisa almost an hour to convince Maya to leave. And even then, Maya insisted on keeping the spare key in case of emergency. Over the next few days, Maya checked on Lisa constantly. She would knock every few hours, sometimes letting herself in when Lisa didn't answer quickly enough. She brought meals Lisa hadn't asked for, more medicine than anyone could possibly need, and an endless stream of advice about getting better. By the weekend, Lisa was feeling much better physically, but emotionally she was exhausted. Maya's constant presence had made it impossible to rest properly. When Lisa tried to return to her normal routine on Monday morning, Maya acted like they had become much closer during Lisa's illness. "I'm so glad I could be there for you when you needed me," Maya said, appearing in the hallway as Lisa left for work. "That's what real friends do for each other. We take care of each other no matter what." Lisa realized that Maya viewed her week of being sick as some kind of bonding experience that had brought them closer together. But for Lisa, it had been a week of feeling invaded and overwhelmed in her own home. Things got even more complicated when Lisa's friends started avoiding her apartment. Her friend Rachel called to cancel their usual Thursday dinner plans. "I'm sorry, Lisa, but that neighbor of yours makes me really uncomfortable. Last time I was there, she kept interrupting our conversation and asking me really personal questions. And the way she stares at people, it's just weird." Lisa's friend Tom had a similar reaction. "Dude, what's the deal with that woman? I came over to watch the game last weekend, and she knocked on your door 3 times. When you finally answered, she invited herself in and then spent the whole time asking me about my job, my family, my dating life. It was like being interrogated." Lisa was starting to realize that Maya's behavior wasn't just affecting her own life. It was driving away her friends and making everyone uncomfortable. But every time Lisa tried to talk to Maya about giving her more space, Maya would get upset and act like Lisa was being mean and ungrateful. The situation reached a new level of uncomfortable when Lisa started working from home more often. She had always done Wednesdays at home, but her company was allowing more flexible schedules. So she decided to work from home on Fridays too. The first Friday she tried this, Maya knocked on her door at 9 a.m. "Good morning. I noticed your car is still here. Are you feeling sick again? Do you need me to check on you?" "No, I'm working from home today," Lisa explained. Maya's face lit up like this was the best news ever. "Oh, how wonderful. I work from home too, so now we can keep each other company during the day. This is going to be so much fun." Lisa tried to explain that she needed quiet to concentrate on work, but Maya didn't seem to understand the concept. She knocked on Lisa's door every hour to see if Lisa needed coffee, if she wanted to take a lunch break together, or if she wanted company. By noon, Lisa had gotten almost no work done because Maya's interruptions kept breaking her concentration. When Maya knocked for the 6th time, Lisa opened the door feeling frustrated. "Maya, I really need to focus on work. Can we please not chat today?" Maya looked confused and hurt. But I thought you would be happy to have a friend nearby while you work. Don't you get lonely sitting in there all by yourself? No, I don't get lonely. I actually prefer working alone. That's so sad, Maya said, looking at Lisa like she was a sick puppy. You shouldn't have to be alone so much. It's not healthy to isolate yourself like this. Lisa felt her patience wearing thin. I'm not isolating myself. I'm working. But Maya just shook her head sadly. I think you've been hurt by people in the past, and now you're afraid to let anyone get close to you. But I'm here for you, and I'm not going anywhere. After that conversation, Lisa started going to coffee shops when she needed to work from home. It felt ridiculous that she had to leave her own apartment to get work done. But Maya made it impossible to concentrate at home. The final straw came when Lisa woke up one Saturday morning and heard voices in her kitchen. At first, she thought she was dreaming, but as she became more awake, she realized someone was actually in her apartment. Lisa grabbed her phone, ready to call the police, and crept toward her bedroom door. She could hear Maya's voice clearly now, talking to someone in a cheerful, conversational tone. Oh yes, she loves this coffee. I know exactly how she likes it prepared. We have coffee together all the time now. Lisa's blood went cold. Maya was in her kitchen, making coffee and talking to someone like she lived there. Lisa could hear another voice responding, but she couldn't make out the words. She got dressed quickly and walked to the kitchen, where she found Maya making breakfast and talking to a woman Lisa had never seen before. Lisa, Maya said brightly, as if finding her in Lisa's kitchen at 7 in the morning was perfectly normal. This is my sister Carol. I told her all about our wonderful friendship, and she wanted to meet you. I thought I'd make us all breakfast. Carol looked embarrassed and uncomfortable. Maya, you said Lisa invited us over for breakfast. Lisa felt like the room was spinning. I definitely didn't invite anyone for breakfast. And Maya, how did you get in here? Maya held up the spare key. I still had this from when you were sick. I thought it would be such a nice surprise to make you breakfast. You're always saying how stressed you are. So I wanted to do something special for you. Lisa had never said she was stressed, and she had never told Maya she could keep using that key. But here Maya was, acting like making herself at home in Lisa's apartment was a perfectly normal thing to do. Carol stood up quickly, looking mortified. I'm so sorry. Maya told me you two were really close friends and that you had invited us over. I wouldn't have come if I had known. It's okay, Lisa said, but her voice was shaking. It's not your fault. After Carol left, clearly upset with her sister, Maya seemed genuinely confused by Lisa's anger. I don't understand why you're so upset. I was doing something nice for you. I thought you would be happy to meet my family and have a special breakfast. Maya, you can't just let yourself into my apartment whenever you want. That's not normal. After the breakfast incident with Maya's sister, Lisa knew she couldn't keep living like this. She had tried being polite, tried dropping hints, and tried explaining things gently. But nothing worked. Maya either didn't understand or didn't want to understand that her behavior was making Lisa miserable. Lisa spent the entire weekend thinking about what to say. She practiced conversations in her head while doing laundry, wrote down key points on a piece of paper, and even called her mom for advice. Her mom had been shocked when Lisa explained the situation. Honey, that woman sounds unstable, her mom had said. You need to be very clear with her about boundaries, and if she doesn't listen, you might need to get the building management involved. Lisa didn't want to involve the building management if she could avoid it. She hoped that one really honest, direct conversation would finally get through to Maya. Maybe Maya just needed someone to explain things clearly without beating around the bush. On Monday evening, Lisa waited in the lobby for Maya to come home from wherever she went during the day. Lisa still wasn't entirely sure what Maya did for work, even though Maya claimed to work from home. She seemed to be out quite a bit for someone who supposedly never left her apartment. When Maya walked through the front door around 6:30, she immediately brightened when she saw Lisa sitting in one of the lobby chairs. Lisa, what a lovely surprise. Are you waiting for me? How sweet. Actually, yes. I was hoping we could talk for a few minutes. Maya's smile got even bigger. Of course. I love our chats. Should we go up to your place? I could make us some tea. No, I think here is fine, Lisa said, gesturing to the chairs in the lobby. She had specifically chosen this location because it was semi-public, which felt safer, but also private enough for a serious conversation. Maya sat down, but Lisa could see confusion flickering across her face. Is everything okay? You seem a little tense. Lisa took a deep breath. She had rehearsed this moment, but now that it was actually happening, her heart was beating fast and her palms felt sweaty. Maya, I need to talk to you about boundaries. I appreciate that you want to be friends, but some of your actions have been making me uncomfortable. Maya's expression immediately changed. The bright smile faded, and she looked like Lisa had just slapped her. Uncomfortable. What do you mean? Lisa pulled out her mental list and tried to stay calm and factual. Well, for example, entering my apartment without permission. Even though you helped when I was sick, I need you to ask before coming over. And I need you to give me back that spare key. But I was taking care of you, and this morning I was doing something nice for you. I understand you meant well, but I need you to ask permission before entering my home. That's a basic boundary that everyone should respect. Maya looked genuinely confused, like Lisa was speaking in riddles. But we're friends. Good friends don't need all these formal rules and permissions. That's so cold and distant, Lisa felt, her frustration rising, but she tried to keep her voice steady. It's not cold. It's normal. And I also need you to respect when I say I want alone time. When I'm working from home, I can't have interruptions. And when I say I want to spend time by myself, that's not something that needs to be fixed or changed. But why would you want to be alone when you could have company? Maya asked, and she looked like she was genuinely trying to understand but couldn't. I don't get it. People are meant to be social. Being alone all the time isn't healthy. I'm not alone all the time. I have friends, I have family, I have a social life, but I also need time by myself. And that's completely normal and healthy. Maya shook her head slowly. I think you've been hurt by people in the past, and now you're afraid to let anyone get close. But I'm trying to show you that not everyone will hurt you. You can trust me. Lisa felt her patience wearing thin. Maya was doing exactly what she always did, turning Lisa's reasonable requests into evidence that Lisa had some kind of problem. This isn't about trust or being hurt. This is about basic respect for personal space and privacy. Everyone needs these things. No, they don't, Maya said firmly. Real friends share everything. They don't hide behind walls and rules. My family has always been really close. We're in and out of each other's homes all the time. We know everything about each other's lives. We take care of each other. That's what love looks like. Lisa realized they were approaching the conversation from completely different worlds. In Maya's world, boundaries meant rejection and distance. In Lisa's world, boundaries meant respect and healthy relationships. Maya, different people have different comfort levels with closeness. What works for your family might not work for other people. I need more space and privacy than you're giving me. Maya's eyes started to fill with tears. So you're rejecting me. You're saying you don't want to be my friend. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I want to be your friend, but I need you to respect some basic boundaries. But those boundaries would mean we're not really close. They would mean we're just strangers who happen to live next to each other. Lisa could see that Maya was getting upset, but she also felt like she was finally being honest about what she needed. We don't have to be strangers, but we also don't have to be like family members who share everything. There's a middle ground. Maya wiped her eyes and looked at Lisa with something that seemed like disappointment mixed with pity. I think you're scared of real friendship. I think you've built up all these walls to protect yourself, but they're actually keeping you from experiencing true closeness with people. Maya, wanting privacy doesn't mean I'm scared of friendship. Yes, it does, Maya said, her voice getting louder. Normal people don't need all these rules and boundaries. Normal people who care about each other want to spend time together, want to help each other, want to be involved in each other's lives. Lisa felt like they were going in circles. No matter how she explained it, Maya interpreted her need for boundaries as evidence that Lisa was damaged or afraid. Or antisocial. Look, Lisa said, trying one more time. I'm not asking you to stay away from me completely. I'm just asking you to knock before entering my apartment, to ask before coming over, and to respect when I say I need alone time. These are things that most people understand automatically. Maya stared at Lisa for a long moment, and then her expression hardened. Most people? You mean most people are as closed off and cold as you are? Lisa felt like she'd been punched in the stomach. I'm not cold. Yes, you are. You take. You let me help you when you're sick. You let me bring you food. You let me take care of you. But the moment I need something from you, like friendship and companionship, you start putting up walls and making rules. That's not fair. I never asked you to do those things. You did them because you wanted to. I did them because that's what friends do. But apparently, you don't know how to be a friend. You just know how to be selfish and push people away when they get too close. Lisa felt tears stinging her eyes. Maya was taking everything Lisa had said and twisting it around, making Lisa feel like she was the one with the problem. I'm not selfish for wanting privacy in my own home. Maya stood up abruptly. You know what? You're right. We do need boundaries, but not the kind you're talking about. I need boundaries to protect myself from people who don't know how to love and be loved. Lisa watched as Maya walked toward the elevator, her back straight and her movements sharp with anger. Maya, wait, but Maya didn't turn around. I hope you're happy with all your space and privacy. Lisa, I hope it keeps you warm at night. The elevator doors closed, and Lisa sat alone in the lobby feeling like she had just been through an emotional tornado. She had tried to have an honest conversation about her needs, and somehow she had ended up feeling like the bad guy. The worst part was that tiny voice in her head wondering if Maya was right. Was she being too cold? Were her boundaries too rigid? Was she pushing away someone who genuinely cared about her? But then Lisa remembered the feeling of waking up to find Maya in her kitchen. The constant interruptions when she was trying to work. The way Maya made her feel watched and invaded in her own home. Those feelings were real, and they mattered. Lisa went back to her apartment and deadbolted the door behind her. She had tried to handle this the mature, adult way by having an honest conversation. But instead of understanding her perspective, Maya had made her feel guilty for having basic needs for privacy and personal space. Lisa had no idea what Maya might do next, but she had a sinking feeling that their confrontation had only made things worse. Maya hadn't seemed like someone who was ready to accept that their friends' hip was over. She seemed like someone who was going to fight for what she believed she deserved. As Lisa got ready for bed that night, she couldn't shake the feeling that Maya's reaction had revealed something important and disturbing about her personality. Maya didn't just struggle with boundaries. She seemed to believe that boundaries themselves were wrong and hurtful. Lisa realized she might be dealing with someone who would never accept no for an answer. For 2 days after their confrontation, Lisa didn't see or hear Maya at all. The silence was almost more unsettling than the constant interruptions had been. Lisa kept waiting for a knock at her door, a text message, or Maya's voice calling her name from the hallway, but nothing happened. Lisa started to hope that maybe their conversation had actually worked. Maybe Maya had finally understood and was giving her the space she needed. Maybe they could start fresh and build a healthier neighbor relationship. That hope disappeared on Wednesday morning. Lisa woke up to find a note that had been slipped under her door during the night. It was written in Maya's neat handwriting on pink stationery that smelled like flowers. Dear Lisa. It read, I've been thinking about our conversation, and I realize you must be going through something really difficult right now. When people suddenly start pushing away the people who care about them, it's usually because they're dealing with depression or anxiety or some other mental health issue. I want you to know that I forgive you for the hurtful things you said, and I'm here for you when you're ready to accept help. Love, your friend Maya. Lisa read the note 3 times, feeling a mixture of anger and disbelief. Maya had completely missed the point of their conversation and had instead decided that Lisa's need for boundaries was a mental health problem that needed to be fixed. That afternoon, Lisa found another note. This one said that Maya had noticed Lisa seemed isolated and antisocial and had researched some therapists in the area who specialized in helping people with trust issues and social anxiety. She had even printed out their contact information. On Thursday, Maya knocked on Lisa's door, but when Lisa answered, Maya didn't try to come in. Instead, she handed Lisa a book about overcoming fear of intimacy and said she thought it might help Lisa understand why she was self-sabotaging her relationships. Lisa tried to hand the book back. Maya, I don't need this. I'm not afraid of intimacy. I just need normal boundaries. Maya gave her a sad, pitying smile. The first step to healing is admitting you have a problem, sweetie. But don't worry. I'm not giving up on you. By Friday, Lisa realized that Maya had completely reframed their entire situation in her mind. Instead of accepting that Lisa had valid concerns about Maya's behavior, Maya had decided that Lisa was mentally unwell and needed Maya's help to get better. The situation took a darker turn over the weekend. On Saturday morning, Lisa discovered that someone had filed a noise complaint against her with the building management. According to the notice slipped under her door, multiple residents had complained about loud music and disturbances coming from her apartment late at night. Lisa was confused because she hadn't been playing loud music or making noise. She was usually in bed by 10 o'clock on weeknights and rarely had the TV or music loud enough to bother neighbors. She decided to talk to the building manager on Monday to clear up what must have been a misunderstanding. But on Sunday night, Lisa heard loud music coming from Maya's apartment at around 11 p.m. It went on for about an hour, then stopped suddenly. The next morning, Lisa found another noise complaint notice under her door, this time specifically mentioning loud music on Sunday night. Lisa felt a cold realization wash over her. Maya was making noise and then reporting Lisa for it. She called the building manager immediately and asked to meet with him that day. When she explained the situation, he looked uncomfortable. Look, Miss Lisa, I have to take noise complaints seriously when multiple residents are involved. Multiple residents? Who else complained? The manager hesitated. Well, it's been mostly your neighbor Maya, but she says other people have mentioned it to her too. Lisa felt her stomach drop. Maya's the one making the complaints? The same Maya who somehow got a spare key to my apartment. The manager's expression changed. She said you had given her permission to check on you when you were sick. I never gave her permission to keep that key. She was supposed to return it. Lisa spent an hour explaining the entire situation to the building manager. She told him about Maya's boundary violations, the unauthorized entry into her apartment, and now the false noise complaints. The manager listened with growing concern. This is a serious matter, he said finally, if what you're saying is true. Maya has been abusing building policies and making false reports. Let me look into this. That afternoon, the building manager called Lisa back. I've reviewed our policies with Maya. She's been instructed to return any keys she has to your apartment immediately, and she's been warned that false noise complaints could result in action against her lease. Lisa felt a huge wave of relief. Finally, someone in authority had taken her concerns seriously and was doing something about it. But Maya's response to being confronted by the building manager was even more concerning than her previous behavior. On Tuesday, Lisa found a note under her door that was different from the previous ones. This one wasn't written on pretty stationery, and the handwriting looked shakier. Lisa, I can't believe you went to the building manager behind my back instead of talking to me directly. I thought we were friends, but you're treating me like I'm some kind of dangerous person. All I ever did was try to care about you, and you've made me out to be a villain. This is exactly why I have trouble trusting people. Everyone always lets me down in the end. The note made Lisa feel uneasy. Maya sounded hurt and angry, but she still wasn't taking responsibility for her actions. She was still making herself the victim of the situation. Over the next few days, Maya's behavior became more unpredictable. Sometimes Lisa would hear Maya talking loudly in the hallway, seemingly to herself. Other times, Maya would blast music for a few minutes, then turn it off abruptly. Lisa could hear Maya's door slamming at random times throughout the day and night. One evening, Lisa ran into another neighbor, Mrs. Chen, who lived down the hall. Mrs. Chen looked worried. "Lisa, is everything okay with your friend Maya? She stopped me yesterday and spent 20 minutes telling me about how hurt she was that you betrayed her trust. She seemed really upset." Lisa realized that Maya was now involving other neighbors in their conflict, trying to get them to take sides. "We're not really friends, Mrs. Chen. We're just neighbors who had some disagreements about boundaries." Mrs. Chen nodded understandingly. She did seem a bit intense. "She asked me a lot of personal questions about you, like what time you usually get home, whether you have overnight guests, that sort of thing. I didn't feel comfortable answering." Lisa felt a chill. Maya was now trying to get information about her from other neighbors. The final turning point came when Lisa discovered that Maya had been going through her mail. Lisa had been expecting an important package, and when it didn't arrive on the expected day, she checked with the front desk. The doorman told her that Maya had signed for the package, claiming Lisa had asked her to accept deliveries while Lisa was out of town. But Lisa hadn't been out of town, and she had never asked Maya to accept her mail. Lisa immediately filed a formal complaint with both the building management and the postal service. Tampering with someone's mail was a federal offense, and Lisa had finally reached the point where she was willing to involve authorities beyond just the building manager. The building manager called an emergency meeting with both Lisa and Maya. Lisa brought copies of all the notes Maya had left, documentation of the false noise complaints, and evidence of the mail issue. Maya's response to the formal complaint was to break down crying and claim that she had been trying to be helpful because she was worried about Lisa's mental health. She said she thought Lisa was having some kind of breakdown and needed someone to look out for her. "I was just trying to be a good friend," Maya sobbed. "I don't understand why everyone is being so mean to me. All I wanted was to have someone who cared about me living next door." But the building manager had heard enough. "Maya, regardless of your intentions, your behavior has violated multiple building policies and potentially broken federal laws. You need to stop all contact with Lisa immediately, or we'll have to consider terminating your lease." After the meeting, Lisa felt emotionally drained but also relieved. Someone in authority had finally seen Maya's behavior for what it really was and had taken action to stop it. Maya moved out of the building 3 weeks later. Lisa never found out if Maya left voluntarily or if the building management forced her to go. But either way, Lisa was grateful to have her peaceful life back. The experience taught Lisa some important lessons about trusting her instincts and standing up for herself. She realized that some people genuinely don't understand boundaries, and no amount of polite explanation will change that. She learned that protecting her own well-being sometimes requires uncomfortable confrontations and involving authorities. Most importantly, Lisa learned the difference between being kind and being a pushover. Maya had taken advantage of Lisa's desire to be a good neighbor, but Lisa now understood that good neighbors respect each other's space and privacy. 6 months later, a new neighbor moved into apartment 4C. This time, Lisa was friendly but clear about her boundaries from the beginning. When her new neighbor, an elderly man named Frank, asked to borrow a screwdriver, Lisa lent it to him gladly. When he returned it the next day with a plate of cookies as a thank you, Lisa appreciated the gesture. Frank was what Maya could